One entity is mimicking human faces to drag fishermen into the mud, a cursed wetland, an ancient cremation ground. But what happens when the horror isn't haunting a place? What happens when it attaches itself directly to your soul? Because shadows don't need passports. Don't. These aren't myths. These are two true, documented encounters that will make you terrified of the dark. Watch closely before it's too late. Today I will share an incident with you that was sent from a village called Baghia in Manikganj by Muhammad Rifat. The time period of this incident is 2021. This is an incident that happened to him personally. Before going into the incident, it is necessary to describe about their village. Their village is densely populated, and the distance from one house to another is not very much. However, a road has passed from their village. It is about 2 to 2.5 kilometers long. After that begins a vast wetland. The name of this wetland is Tarar Chok. Since this Tarar Chok is quite large, there is movement of people there throughout the day, mainly farmers. As evening falls, the movement of people there drops to zero. After evening, no people are found there. The road that goes from their village has divided this wetland into two parts. However, going towards that wetland, the road becomes narrow and thin. And regarding this Tarar Chok, he has heard many kinds of paranormal incidents from the elders of their village. Overall, many types of supernatural incidents occur around this wetland, but Rifat did not believe in all these sayings. When the rainy season comes and the water is below the knees, many people go into that wetland to catch fish. Only those who have not faced any paranormal incident go to fish in that Tarar Chok. Rifat has also caught fish many times in that wetland. The time is the rainy season and water has just come into the wetland. That day, everyone in his house had gone to an invitation, so he thought, "Today I will go fishing in that wetland." With a torchlight in hand, a pot to keep fish, and a spear to catch fish, he went into that wetland. He shined the torchlight to see if there were any people around, but he saw that no one had come to fish in the wetland that day. Seeing this, he did not get scared. He started catching fish in his own way. He was getting small fish occasionally. Whatever he got, he caught. He caught fish for about an hour. So far, no abnormal incident had happened to him. But suddenly he felt a touch of a hand on his shoulder from behind. Immediately he turned back and saw that it was his friend. That friend's name was Rabbi. Rabbi asked him, "Hey, are you catching fish alone?" Hearing his friend's words, he got a bit annoyed and said, "Hey man, where were you? I have been catching fish here for about an hour. I didn't see anyone. When did you come?" Rabbi said, "I just came." Rabbi asked Rifat, "Weren't you scared? I touched your shoulder from behind." Rifat said, "Why would I be scared? Are you a ghost or something?" Though I got startled at first. Then Rabbi looked at him mysteriously and smiled slightly and said, "I could be a ghost." Rifat said, "Hey man, don't joke like that at night. Look, the fish in the wetland are freshwater fish. They will taste good." He told his friend to catch fish as it was getting late. "I have been catching fish for quite some time." Both of them started catching fish. His friend Rabbi also came to the wetland with fishing equipment. Both of them were catching fish. Rifat was thinking in his mind, "I have been catching fish in this wetland for about 1 to 1.5 hours. Why didn't I see anyone all this time? When did Rabbi come here? If someone walks in water, there should be a sound. But I did not hear any sound. He kept thinking all this and continued catching fish. While catching fish, he went quite far into the wetland. After some time, he thought to check what fish his friend had caught. He looked around and saw that his friend was not beside him, but quite far away. But it was not possible to go that far so quickly. Rifat could not understand this matter at all. How did his friend go so far so quickly? He ignored this matter. He lit a cigarette and started walking toward his friend. He tried to get closer, but he could not get close to him at all. After walking for some time, he thought there was a lot of water here. Maybe Rabbi is moving forward while catching fish. Since the wetland was quite big, he could not catch up with him. So Rifat again focused on catching fish. When the cigarette finished, he suddenly noticed that his friend was close to him. He asked his friend normally, "Will you have a cigarette? Shall I light one?" But his friend did not say anything. Even after asking 2 or 3 times, his friend did not respond. Then he shined the light on his friend and saw that his friend's eyes were completely red. Seeing those red eyes, he asked, "What happened to your eyes? They were fine earlier. What happened now?" But his friend did not answer. He did not ask further because maybe due to staying in water for a long time, his eyes became red. After catching fish for a while longer, he thought it was very late now. Having caught many fish, he had to go home. It would take time to go 2 to 2.5 kilometers and clean the fish. Thinking this, he decided to go home. He called his friend and asked, "Won't you go home? It's very late, let's go." His friend replied, "No, I won't go home now." So he started walking toward home alone. As soon as he got onto the roadside, he again felt someone's hand on his back. This time it did not just touch, it pushed him into the muddy ground. Rifat felt that someone from behind was trying to trap him in the mud. With great difficulty, he tried to free himself and move upward, and saw that it was his friend Rabbi, and that Rabbi attacked him, pressing him into the muddy edge. Both of them started struggling. During the struggle in the mud, Rifat's nose and mouth got filled with mud. At one point, while struggling, he became unconscious. After that, he does not know what happened. Later, when he regained consciousness, he found himself lying on his bed at home. His mother was sitting beside him crying, and many people had come to see him. That friend Rabbi was also there. Seeing Rabbi, all the previous incidents came back to his mind. He got very angry and started scolding him. Seeing his anger, his parents asked why he was behaving like this. Then he said that Rabbi tried to attack him in the wetland and told the whole incident. Everyone present looked at him with surprise. That night when his family returned home, they saw he was not there and his fishing spear was also missing. His father believed in paranormal things. His father went out with Rabbi toward that wetland to search for him. They saw signs of struggle in the torchlight lying there. Then they saw a terrible scene. In the wetland not far away, Rifat was repeatedly dipping his own head into the water and lifting it up. It seemed like he was drowning himself, but he was not doing it himself. Some invisible entity was forcing him into the water. His father understood this. Shouting, "Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar," he ran toward him, and as soon as he touched him, Rifat lost consciousness. Then they rescued him and brought him home. After coming home, he had a high fever and remained unconscious for 3 days. After hearing all this from his father, he thought, then who came to me in the form of my friend that night? What kind of invisible being came in the form of my friend? Was it a terrible jinn or demon? Thinking about all this still sends a chill through his body. After that, he never had the courage to go fishing alone again, especially at night. This story was given to me by a man named Moinuddin, who lives in Oman. But the story is not about him. It is about his closest friend, a man named Saif. A village surrounded by green fields, ponds, and narrow dirt roads. It was a simple life. But the village had a secret. Not far from Saif's home, there was a place the locals called Heavy, a place where the air felt thick, where the silence was too loud, where people walked faster and never looked back. It was a Shosan Ghat, a Hindu cremation ground. And in the middle of this cremation ground stood a massive banyan tree, ancient, wide. Its roots hung down like twisted fingers. Its branches blocked out the sky. Even during the day, the ground under that tree was dark. Saif was a young man then, strong, hardworking. His family often sent him to the local market to buy supplies. The path to the market passed right by that cremation ground, right under the shadow of that banyan tree. One evening between the afternoon prayer, Asr, and the sunset prayer, Maghrib, Saif got on his bicycle and rode toward the market. The sun was low, the shadows were long, and the road was empty. He finished his shopping quickly. He wanted to be home before dark. He turned his bicycle around and pedaled back. The call to Maghrib prayer echoed from the village mosque. Saif sped up, and then he reached the banyan tree. Suddenly his bicycle became heavy, impossibly heavy, like someone had jumped onto the back rack. A full-grown person, sitting right behind him. Saif's legs burned, his muscles strained. He pedaled harder, but the bike barely moved. He looked back. The rack was empty. No one was there. He looked forward and kept pedaling. But now he felt a weight on his own shoulders, pressing down and crushing, like someone was sitting on his back. He could not see anyone, but he could feel them. He pedaled and pedaled. Sweat poured down his face. His heart pounded in his chest. He did not look back again. He just pushed. Finally, he reached the gate of his family home. The moment his front wheel crossed the threshold, the weight vanished. The bicycle became light again. Saif's shoulders felt free. He collapsed onto the ground, gasping for air. His mother came running. "What happened? You look like you have seen a ghost." Saif told her everything. His mother said nothing. She simply recited prayers. She waved smoke from burning herbs around his head. She tried to ward off whatever had followed him home. But it was too late. The thing had already entered. Not long after that night, Saif was lying in bed, under his mosquito net. The room was dark, quiet. Then he saw it, a flickering light, small, glowing, like a firefly, but fireflies do not fly indoors in the middle of the night. The light danced at the edge of his mosquito net, back and forth, back and forth. And then, it passed through the net. Mosquito netting is made to keep insects out. But this light did not care about netting. It floated right through, into Saif's space. And then came the smell. The most beautiful fragrance he had ever breathed. Flowers. Hundreds of flowers, jasmine, rose, champa, something sweet, something heavenly. The entire room filled with this scent, thick, overpowering, unmistakable. Saif screamed. His family rushed into the room. The light was gone, but the perfume remained, hanging in the air like an invisible cloud. His relatives stood there, breathing in the mysterious scent. They looked at each other. No one could explain it. There were no flowers in the room, no incense, no perfume bottles. But the smell was real, and it was not leaving. From that night on, the fragrance became Saif's curse. He would be sitting alone in a room, reading, eating, resting, and suddenly, the flowers would return. That same sweet, intense smell. And whenever he smelled it, he felt it, the weight, the presence, standing right behind him. He would turn around. No one was there, but he knew she was there, invisible, watching. The lady of the fragrance. This continued for years in Noakhali, in his family home, in the fields, on the roads. Wherever Saif went, the scent would find him. In 2012, Saif made a decision. He would leave Bangladesh. He would go far away, across the ocean, to a country where the land was dry and rocky, where the air was hot and thin. He moved to Oman. Oman is nothing like Noakhali. No green fields, no ponds, no banyan trees. Just sand, mountains, heat. Saif found work there. Long hours, 8 in the morning to 8 at night. He made a friend, a man named Moinuddin. They became closer than brothers. They worked together, ate together, shared everything. For a while, Saif thought he was safe. The fragrance did not come. The weight did not press on his shoulders. The shadows were just shadows. He began to relax. He began to believe that the haunting was tied to the land, to the banyan tree, to the cremation ground. Maybe the ocean had washed it away. He was wrong. One night in Oman, Moinuddin was with Saif. They were outside. The sky was clear, the air was dry. Then Saif stopped walking. "I smell it," he whispered. Moinuddin looked at him. "Smell what?" Saif did not answer. His eyes were fixed on something in the distance, about 15 to 20 yards away, in the dim light. A shadow, not a normal shadow. This one was moving, a female shape, darker than the darkness around it. It glided, it floated. It did not walk like a human. It was heading toward a thicket, a patch of dry brush. Moinuddin could not see it, but Saif could. He had seen this shape before, in his nightmares, in the corners of his eyes, always disappearing before he could look directly at it. But this time, Saif had had enough. He said, "No more running." He pulled out his mobile phone, he switched on the flashlight, and he ran, straight toward the shadow, straight toward the thicket. He reached the brush. He swept the light through every branch, every shadow, every gap. Nothing. The thicket was empty. No footprints, no torn clothing, no sound. Just dry leaves and silence. The shadow was gone. Moinuddin caught up to him. "What did you see?" Saif turned off the flashlight. He looked at the empty thicket, and then he said something that Moinuddin never forgot. "She followed me across the ocean. She is here, and she will never leave." After that night, Saif stopped telling his story. He stopped trying to explain. He stopped running. He realized that some things cannot be escaped by distance. Whether he was in the lush green village of Noakhali or the dry rocky desert of Oman, the lady of the fragrance would always be there, a heartbeat away, standing in the shadows, Sometimes a place is not haunted, a person is. Something attaches itself, not to the land, but to the soul. And when that happens, you cannot run, you cannot hide, you cannot cross an ocean and hope to lose it, because shadows do not need passports. Fragrances do not need visas. They follow, they wait, and they are always just behind you. If you have ever smelled a fragrance that had no source, if you have ever felt a weight on your shoulders when no one was there, you are not alone.